Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next live talk for today. We are going to talk about the TeamUP chair. The TeamUP chair is an exciting cooperation project. You find it right over there. And I'm very happy to have two real experts with me here on stage. I'd like to introduce to you Uwe Greschuchna from ITO Design and Jens Müller from BASF, who have been involved in the making of the TeamUP chair. Thanks for being here, Uwe and Jens. I'd like to start with my first question to you, Uwe. The TeamUP chair and ITO Design, what was your role in the project? How did you learn about it? How did it all start?
It all started with a pitch, as we mentioned yesterday. The first contact with Design Fabrik was related to another project, and we had a good discussion with the Design Fabrik team. And after a couple of weeks, we got a call from Design Fabrik, and they asked us, are you interested in applying at the pitch? So there's a pitch in the next month, so do you want to apply? And I had a good discussion with my boss, Mr. Armin Sander, and I gave him the short brief that you guys gave us, so just a short brief. Yeah. And he put it aside and looked at me and asked me, so what's our benefit? Yeah. And I told him, yeah, there's a small budget just for the pitch, but we could learn a lot out of it, so well, that's a resource, so you have to understand that. Yeah. But he didn't understand. He asked me all the time, what's the budget and what about royalty fees and things like that. So it took a couple of days until he understands what the real benefits are. So, and that was amazing. And the benefit is exactly, that's a resource to work with the Design Fabrik.
Yeah. And now I believe he's also proud of the result of this, huh?
At the end, yes.
Yeah, okay. This is good, so you could convince him. Jens, the TeamUP chair has, I think it includes around 20 BASF products. Can you mention a few? What are the specific functionalities? Why did you select those materials?
Right. This is correct. We are teaming up roughly 20 materials from BASF, mainly from our performance materials division. And within the course of the project, we had much more materials in our mind. So we had to decide whether design would fit to the material or if the material has a certain functionality which would fit to the chair, etc. Just to name a few of these materials, there are, let's say, three main product groups which we have included, which is our Ultramid SI, our surface improved polyamide, which we use for the frame of the chair. We use, of course, flexible foams. And in this case, we have a special setup of our flexible foams to have a high comfort of seating. So we combined different foams to have a really high comfort in the seating. And let's say, last but not least, we have also in the back frame and the seat shell a natural fiber bonding included, which is our Acrodur. So it's not only, as I said, materials from BASF Performance, but as well we use in the whole BASF group.
And Acrodur is actually the same material that is also in the Hyundai car?
Exactly, that's the same. Actually, in the chair, it's not visible, but as we have our configurator nearby the chair, you can see that the inner layers are made of Acrodur natural fiber.
Okay. Uwe, I'm interested. I mean, the TeamUP chair doesn't look like a normal chair. You, because it was basically your idea, and also you work closely with BASF. What did you want to achieve? What kind of working space is it for? What were the trends that you had in mind when you designed it?
So we are scanning the market constantly all the time, so that's our job as a designer. And we recognized some meta trends. So we saw that work has become more cross-functional over the last decade. So and that means innovation needs collaboration. That's the claim I saw today morning on a booth somewhere over there. So, but that's interesting. And the idea behind the TeamUP chair is to support all different kinds of collaboration. And there's a so-called mid-zone, actually, when you talk about office environments. That's the hotspot at the moment. And we tried to develop this mid-zone further. So what we try to achieve is to get something active, kind of creative hub, which can build up temporary spaces, single spaces or group spaces. And these spaces should be able to adapt to individual needs. Yeah. So when you come to the office and you find a TeamUP and it doesn't fit to you, you can change. Yeah. You can adapt it to yourself immediately. Yeah. And that you can do everywhere and every time. So that's the main difference. It's TeamUP goes beyond the idea of a simple piece of furniture. Yeah, yeah. So it's the fusion of adaptability, mobility, and connectivity. That makes the TeamUP so unique.
Okay. Sounds great and looks great. Uwe talked about flexibility. The chair is a very flexible chair. Jens, how flexible did BASF had to be to develop this project?
Well, yes. I want to say some points to where it all started with and when the flexibility, if you will, started. Well, the discussion we had with our sales together with our customers let us learn that there is a need for such kind of new mobility in an office. And this was actually the start point when we said, well, you know, we need something to support that. And of course, we are not the experts in design, but in material know-how. We need to combine our knowledge with a designer and, of course, with an OEM to get this thing done. And we actually, during the course of this project, we had a lot of flexibility, actually. And as I said earlier, there were a lot of different materials in our mind. So we together had try to process different materials, how they function. So sometimes it worked out very quick, sometimes not. So this was a discussion with more than just the two of us. We had a lot of experts involved from our tech development team, from our design fabric, our internal designers as well. So we need to show a lot of flexibility talking with designers and material specialists.
But the true story is we started with a plastic waste bin, as you can see right at the entrance above the counter. So we started with a waste bin, a pretty rough mock-up, and we create the TeamUP out of it. So that's a true story. It's a short story about TeamUP.
The short version, yeah. Uwe, it's day 2 now at K, world premiere of the TeamUP chair. What's the feedback so far? I mean, you're talking to a lot of people here. How are the reactions?
It's a bit different because it's a plastic fair. The feedback is different than compared to other fairs, especially the Orgatech, which starts the next week. So, but I think it's positive. A lot of people come and ask and are interested in. Sounds good. So they understand the idea behind that, so they can follow that. But that is something you can't see when you enter the booth and you see the chair. You don't know anything about that, so you have to explain. And there's a kind of gap we have to close. So,
Jens, last question to you. Can you promise your BASF colleagues that you will make sure that those will be the new office chairs at BASF?
That's a good question. How should I answer to that? Definitely, it's a goal to go with this chair into series production. This was also a compromise which we need to find between not too visionary, not too innovative, but also learning what is the industry capable of to do right now. And saying this, this TeamUP chair, this prototype is ready to go into series production. And we will have next week a very important fair. This is the Orgatech fair, which is the trade show, the trade fair for our office furniture industry. So we will highlight exactly this chair with our OEM Interstuhl. He is partnering with us in this project. And as I said, next week we will learn much more about when will it come into series production. And we feel very confident that it will be.
So fingers crossed for that. If we don't get the series production, I take the prototype, please, to my office.
Okay, right.
Thank you. Thank you, Uwe. Thank you, Jens.
Thank you.
Uwe and Jens will be around the TeamUP chair. If you have any more questions, feel free to talk to the guys. Thank you very much. See you later.